Yo, what up guys? Today I want to talk to you guys about my newest pickup, the Adidas Iniki Boost in the highlighter yellow colorway. So this is going to be like a relatively quick video. I feel like there's a lot of videos about this shoe out there on YouTube already. I just kind of wanted to talk more about this colorway and what I thought about the shoe. So when the Iniki first released, I thought it was like a pretty cool shoe and everything, but I wasn't in love with all the colorways, like the red and the blue I think it came out in. I thought they were nice, but I wasn't about to spend like $120 on them. So when the second wave of Iniki colorways came out and I saw this highlighter yellow colorway, I like knew I had to get this one. It popped, it caught my eye, and you know, my heart was set on it. Unfortunately, like this shoe did not drop on Adidas.com, and I think it was only available to certain like boutiques. I was actually lucky. The weekend of the drop, I just casually walked into my local Adidas Original store here in Orange County, and they just had them sitting on the shelf. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll take one. So here we are. I have them in hand. I'm super happy about these. These are kind of like a lower price point. Compared to other Boost shoes. These are $120. It's because they don't really have too much tech going on. You got the full-length Boost midsole, but apart from that, it's like a really simple shoe. The shoe is kind of designed to look like a 70s shoe. I think there's like a lot of misconception behind that, or misunderstanding behind that. People think that you know how Adidas has been doing throwbacks on their classic shoes with Boost, like the Stan Smith Boost and the Superstar Boost. They think this is like a classic silhouette they're bringing back with Boost. However, this is a brand new silhouette that just came out, and they're just taking inspirations from their OG runner models. Kind of similar to how the NMD was taking some inspirations from their older 80s shoes. So, yeah, let's get into this shoe real quick. First of all, just look at that gorgeous highlighter yellow colorway. It's jaw-dropping. It reminds me of running shoes, right? Like running shoes that I actually run in. I usually buy like really bright colored running shoes. So when I'm running at night, you know, I don't get hit by a car. I'm more visible. It kind of invokes that same runner aesthetic, and I think that's what really drew me to them. But yeah, enough about the color. Let's go into the upper. So the upper is made out of this super lightweight neoprene type material. I know like it's not actually neoprene, but that's the best way I can describe it. It's not. It kind of has that like neoprene hand feel on the outside, but on the inside, I don't know if you can see, but it has this kind of like mesh lining all around it, which gives it a super light feel. So think of it as a lightweight version of neoprene. It ventilates really well. It's really stretchy, so it's a great summer shoe. You can like wear it without socks sometimes. Like ventilates really well. Your foot doesn't get really like soggy and sweaty. So yeah, I like the upper. It's definitely like a lot more stretchier than Prime Knit or something like that, which is surprising. The only problem with it though is the fact that because it doesn't really have any structure, it's just kind of like a neoprene bag. Your foot really slides around on top of the shoe a lot when you're wearing it, which could be a problem if you're actually like trying to run in it or do any sort of athletic activities in this shoe. But this is a casual shoe. It wasn't really designed as a performance shoe, so I think that's okay and we can forgive it for that. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the upper, it has these kind of like suede trimmings all around the toe box, around the lace box right here, and on the heel. The suede quality is pretty decent. Without the suede on the toe box, your foot moving around would actually be a lot worse. You definitely notice it when you're wearing it. You can notice your toes kind of like coming to a stop when it hits the toe box suede right here. So I'm glad that they put it on there. I mean, it looks good aesthetically, but it actually adds a little bit of functionality on there. The kind of like the heel cup area suede, I think is purely for looks. It just looks nice. And the lace box area suede also is for looks and also adds a little bit of functionality because you don't want those lace holes to rip through. If it was just going through this light neoprene material, it wouldn't be very sturdy and it would just rip right through. The Adidas 3 stripes are not printed on, but they're kind of like this rubber that's been heat applied. So that's really cool. It kind of brings a little different texture onto the shoe. It's a little shiny. And it has the classic serrated edges, which is really cool. And you got the Iniki branding right here in a kind of copper colorway, I would say. The one thing that kind of sketches me out about this shoe is that, I don't know if you can really see it that well, but the letters are just kind of like glued on there and they're raised. So I feel like, especially this I, could come off really easily. So I'm kind of worried that the letters are going to fall off one day. I've been wearing them for like 2-3 days now and they seem fine so far, so fingers crossed. Moving on to the back, you got this nice leather patch right here with the trefoil logo on it. It says Adidas. One thing I kind of don't like is the fact that the suede comes up so high and there's not enough white space under the logo. I don't know, it bothers me. I wish like the suede didn't come up as high and you got a little more white space under the logo, but that's just like super nitpicky stuff now. I didn't talk about the tongue. So the tongue is kind of interesting. The shoe is kind of like, it looks like it has a tongue, but it's more or less kind of like a booty construction. So it's kind of like a moccasin where the tongue is just fake. It's sewn on here and it doesn't move. And pretty much like what you see of the tongue, like inside the lace box here, that's it. There's no more extra tongue. It's just stitched on like right here in this U shape. And it doesn't move at all. And it just kind of like pops up like that, which is great. For a casual shoe, I think this is perfect because for me anyway, the tongues that are not attached or not gusseted always move over to the outside like this. It's like super annoying. It looks bad. I'm glad that these tongues are like attached securely to each side, so they always stay right in the middle. Of course, on the tongue you got more Adidas branding with the trefoil logo. It says brand with 3 stripes. It's also made out of that same rubber and heat applied, so that's a nice little touch right there. Moving on to the midsole, not too much to talk about. It's like a full-length boost midsole, comfortable. Feels pretty much exactly like NMD midsole. Actually, no, it's a lot softer than NMD midsole because it doesn't have any blocks. The outsole is this hexagonal rubber tread, and it actually has really good traction compared to, let's say, the NMDs, which really have no traction. I mean, it has the same hexagonal pattern, but if you can see, the NMD hexagonal pattern is like 2D. There's like no ridges or anything like that, and it's just flat. You kind of slip and slide a lot wearing these shoes versus the Inikis. If you kind of look at it from an angle, you can see all the little bumps and nooks and crannies in there and all the different textures. It really helps you grip. So I mean, like I said earlier, this is not a performance shoe, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to actually have traction in your shoes. So I think, you know, this shoe gets a little bit of brownie points for that. So all in all, for $120, you're actually getting a lot of shoe here. It might not have all the fancy tech like prime knit or stabilization systems in the boost or a cage or anything like that, but you're getting a really solid shoe, and it's a great summertime shoe, I think. Definitely worth the money, in my opinion. If you guys can, pick yourselves up a pair. I know these are sitting in a lot of places. Not this colorway exactly, but I think they're pretty easy to get right now, and I kind of like that they're not too hyped. So let's hope it stays that way for the next couple of releases. So that was it. I'm going to throw these on feet and show you guys a little bit of on-foot action. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.